We've got members of the Alamogordo cheerleading squad and their head coach, Jessica Sonderman's here with us. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Do you want to introduce these two that you brought along with you today?
Yes, I have our two competition captains are with us. Desirae Ambrosi, she's a junior, and then I have Errek Hernandez, and he's a senior this year.
All right. How are you guys doing today? Desi, good?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. Errek, how about you, man?
I'm good.
You're good? He's good. All right. We're glad to hear that. We've actually had Errek in as an athlete of the week this year. He's a senior, and he was great when we had him in earlier this year. Coach, talk about how the preparation for competition has gone for you guys. I know it's a little bit of a different deal this year for you,
It is
right?
a different deal. The state changed our competition rules. We have a different routine. It used to be a minute, and now it's 3 minutes, and essentially 3 routines put together. So we are just trying something new. It's across the board. So far, so good.
Yeah. Errek, I mean, how's the preparing for the competition? Because obviously you've been in cheer and you've had the different competition. How has it been different for you this year?
It's been really good because we all have like a good mindset this year of winning state, and actually since last year most of us didn't know what state was like, so we know what to expect this year.
Desi, I mean, how about you? I mean, in terms of, you guys are both competition captains, so, coach is looking to you to kind of have everybody's back and have everybody prepared. Has it been a different experience this year?
It's definitely been different. I think it's a lot better than last year. We have a better mentality overall as a team together, and we're all just putting in better effort than ever, so I think it's going to go good.
Coach, are you seeing that from this group? You feel like that there's much more preparedness? They feel ready to go at this point in the year?
Yeah, for sure. And just because almost everybody competed last year, we now have a team of returners. We don't have any kids that are green trying stuff brand new, so.
Yeah. How would you describe this group this year? I mean, you feel like that you've got a little bit of everything in terms of being able to be competitive in competition?
Yeah, they're very, very talented. That much is for sure.
Yeah.
It's just honing everybody's skills and making sure we utilize every kid for everything that they can do for themselves,
Errek, how would you describe this team? You feel like that there's somebody who can do a little bit of everything? You guys got the tumblers, the bases, everything that you need to be competitive?
Yeah. I think everybody has like the certain things that make us like stronger together.
Mm-hmm.
Desi, I mean, how would you describe this group? I mean, you feel like it's a close-knit team as well?
I think we're definitely closer than ever. I think that everybody has their group of friends, but overall we do come together as a family.
Now, I mean, I've had the one chance to go to we had a home competition here in Alamogordo a few years ago, and I had never been to a cheerleading competition, and it's such a cool experience, I thought. I just thought it was so much fun. Desi, I mean, I feel like that's got to be part of it, is that the cheer competitions have just got to be so much fun for you guys when you get to go to them, right?
They are definitely the thing that I look forward to and get to wake up and know that it's a competition day and it's the best feeling to have.
All right. Errek, I mean, how would you describe, getting to go to a cheer competition and what it's like for you and your teammates?
So actually, like last year, I had started getting like really bad anxiety, but this year, like because I'm like so like close to everybody, I know we're gonna do good. So this past cheer competition, I went out there and I was like confident in us, and I wasn't as nervous as I usually am. But
yeah, that's got to be much easier.
Yeah, it's really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, well, and I think the other part about it is, and the thing I love about the cheer competitions is that you guys may be going up against each other. You guys might want to win, but everybody is rooting each other on, and they're getting involved with the cheers and all of that. I mean, Coach, that's, I'm sure, something with being involved with cheerleading over the years that you have to love about that kind of thing.
That's something that, as a coaching staff, we try to make our top point anyway. When we go to competitions, we are competing with class, and we root other people on. We tell them congratulations if they win. We stand up for teams that win. We shake hands, and we're fair play.
Yeah. You guys went to your first competition a couple weekends ago in Roswell, and you talked a little bit about, in Artesia, and you talked a little bit about, things are changing up and everybody's having to adjust to it. What did you take away from the team's first competition?
We competed the routine that we don't often compete. We competed at first because it's new. We have no idea what we're doing. We have guidelines, and we're going by the guidelines that the state has given us, and the best thing to do is just put it out on the floor and let the judges see it and see if there's something we have done wrong. We didn't get any deductions, so that's a huge bonus for first try. We were against Anyate, and they're just... they're top of the top in the state. That's who we want to compete against first. Yeah. And we did great. It was incredible. The routine was flawless. We learned some things, made some adjustments, and that's what we are competing that same routine this coming weekend.
All right. Errek, did you feel like you gained some confidence out of that Artesia competition?
Yeah, because we only lost by a couple points to them. And
what did you feel like the confidence level was like coming out of the Artesia competition?
I think our confidence went skyrocketed for everybody, even the ones that were nervous and wasn't sure about how well they would do personally on the mat. I think they gained a lot more confidence than when they first went on.
Coach, I mean, we obviously have these two captains here. We certainly want to mention some of the other kids that are obviously important to this group. And I mean, I know I'm maybe putting you on the spot just having to name ones off the top there. Okay. But talk about some of the other kids that are, really key to you guys being competitive and being able to compete for maybe a state trophy this year.
We have 5 seniors, and that's been a huge player this year. Erica, she was an ESPN Athlete of the Year Athlete of the Week last year, I believe. And then Monica, who was in here last week, they're both heavy hitters. And then Savannah Otero, who she's actually our mascot, but she's been with our program for 4 years. She's necessary, and she's the face of the Tigers.
Yeah.
It'll be a sad day when she leaves after the season's over.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that, that's somebody that, she doesn't necessarily get seen as much as Savannah, but, she's out there working just as hard. And I know that working in that mascot outfit is challenging. Certainly,
she does great. She's wonderful. She's been great for us.
I'll ask you to this. I mean, because I know that, you guys are, most of your year, you're out there cheering on other teams. You guys have your competitions. But what do you wish people maybe knew more about cheerleading than anything else? I mean, Errek, I'll start with you. I mean, what Oh no, Coach will have one here in a second, but we'll let the kids go start first. But Errek, what do you wish people maybe knew more about what you guys do on maybe on a daily basis?
I wish people knew more, like, because they all think it's like we just cheer for them and stuff like that, which we actually do, but they think it's like not as athletic, but we actually do a lot more than people think. Like, you have to have like a certain like mentality standard, like just to be in cheer, and then doing like cheer conditioning is really hard, and tumbling it works you out, and like if you're like learning a tuck, you strain like your ab muscles, and it just kills. But you have to have a certain like, I don't know, you just have to be mentally prepared for cheer.
Have a dedication to it.
You have to be very dedicated.
Desi, I mean, what would you wish people maybe knew more about what you guys do?
Probably also to go with the difficulty level. There is like certain things that just people will look at and not understand how it happens and how many hours it takes to get that one stunt to go up. I mean, Errek's my base, and I don't know how many times I've landed on him and hurt him. And it's just something that he has to get back up and then say, let's go again, instead of just laying down thinking that he's hurt all the time.
Yeah. Coach, I mean, add on to what they said there.
Yeah, there's just so much that goes on behind the scenes. It's constant. Everybody's stressed out, and we have a set stunt that has to go, and sometimes it'll take 3.5 months to get one of them to go, and we have 5 of them to make happen. It's just there's a lot of work, and what people see is the final result. Nobody knows how much goes into that. If you go to a football game and the football player's having a rough start to his game, he's still got 3.5 quarters to work it out. But we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and that is it. That's the end of it,
And the timing part of it as well. I mean, there's so much into, you talk about getting the stunts right, but you guys have to hit your music cues, and you have to hit certain things at the right amount of time. And if you don't, I mean, that's kind of all she wrote, right?
That's your 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You're done.
Yeah. There's a lot of stress there. And Desi, back on what you said there, the trust aspect. I mean, you guys have to have a lot of trust in each other. Certainly the ones that are flyers, when you guys are going way up in the air, you got to be, believing that person below you is going to catch you, right?
Yes, sir. It's definitely nerve-wracking, but just the feeling of actually stunting is awfully worthwhile.
Yeah. Well, and Errek, it's the opposite for you. I mean, you're there holding somebody up, and you're wanting to make sure that they trust you in that type of situation. That's a different level of stress as well.
Yeah. And just like them being like, because they also have to like pull up their weight. Like it doesn't sound like, I don't know. It sounds confusing, but it actually helps when they pull up their weight, because if they feel like 10 pounds lighter than they actually are, but you have to like trust them to do their job, and they have to trust you to do your job. Big
cooperation to make sure everything works out right. Yeah, it's one of those that, again, I think we all probably watch it and we don't. And I think the other aspect is as well the actual cheering part of it. I mean, you guys are showing, you guys have the energy, you guys have the want to be out there, and even when the crowd maybe isn't into it as much as you guys would like them to be, you guys got to stay up with it. And Coach, I'm sure that's a big thing that you talk with the players or with your cheerers is that listen, you guys are out there to do your job, and you've got to keep up your energy regardless of what if people are interacting or not, right?
Yeah, and that's why cheerleading and dance are just entirely different sports than everybody else. You don't just have to do your job, you have to do it, and you have to look happy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what kind of day you've had, what kind of month you've had, how bad practice was the day before, you have to look happy. I mean, we get deductions on our score sheets for not looking happy, essentially, and so, yeah, it's more than just doing your job. It's doing your job and being on a stage.
Yeah, having the right attitude, Errek. I'm sure that's a big part of with you guys out there, right? Yeah, Desi, just making sure that you guys are in the right mindset.
Agreement.
Yeah, okay. Everybody's got that one down for sure. And I also, we talked about the stunning and bases and flying, but gymnastics is such a big part of cheerleading that we don't have high school gymnastics in this state, but cheerleading is probably as close as we get to that. Desi, would you say that's probably true with some of the stuff that goes on out there?
I definitely think it is, because a lot of it is about body control and knowing what to do with yourself and not just going at it and doing whatever. You have to think about what you're doing, and you have to keep practicing it. It's just not something that you can get overnight.
Yeah. Errek, it's for a lot, it's like doing the floor exercise out there when you're talking about gymnastics, right?
Yeah, you have to like she said, it takes a while just to get something, and then me myself, I used to have tumbling, but over time I grew. I developed a mind block, so I can't throw some things anymore. And it's you have to get over those mind blocks just to actually be able to do something again. And it's just really hard. But
yeah, Coach, you just got to see some amazing athletes out there. All these kids, you could do many different sports if they chose, but they chose cheerleading, right?
Yeah, they say that gymnastics is 90% mental and 10% ability, and it is the truth. Most of the kids that we have that are very close to skills, they just have to get over their mental block, Errek being one of them.
There you go.
He's a very talented kid with extremely good skills. It's just getting over that mental curve,
Uh-huh. You guys head to Roswell this weekend. You'd mentioned that. What are you looking for from the team this weekend? What kind of things do you want to see in terms of be a successful meet?
We made some adjustments to that routine. I just want them to perform the best they can, execute the changes that we've made, so that we can certainly know from the judges what is scoring good and what is not. So as long as they, do their very, very best, I think that's all we need this week.
Yeah. Errek, I got to think that even the competitions that state is obviously the big competition that you guys go to, but you have to treat these other competitions like they are state. Is that the way that Coach talks to you all?
Because the competitions that we go to before state they prepare us for state. If you go to state and you haven't performed one routine, you don't know what the judges are going to like about that. So you're probably going to get docked a bunch of points because you don't know what to expect from the judges, and they don't know to expect from you because they've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So,
Desi, I got to think also just from a mindset to that you're prepared and what you have to do to be prepared to be successful, because as Coach was saying, you get that one shot up at state, so you want to at least have gone through that 2 or 3 times before you get to state, right?
Yes, sir. It definitely does help with getting the practice and knowing what it feels like to be on the floor and just giving it all that you have, and not being able just to do half of it and just giving it your all, so you know how to feel the adrenaline that just runs through you when you're doing that 2 minutes and 30-second routine.
Yeah, Coach, I got to admit, mindset is the biggest thing that they know what to be prepared for when state rolls around coming up in March, right?
Yeah, adrenaline is make or break, man. Some kids get out there and they know the routine, and they're the best ones we have, and that adrenaline hits, and it's just a blank slate, So the more competitions we do, and the more we put that routine on the floor, the more the kids will be just fine when we get to state. We didn't have any of those at our last competition, but every year, 15 years, and I always have a kid or two that don't know how to handle the adrenaline right away. And
state competition is a whole different beast, too.
Yeah,
you go to the other ones, and in your mind, at least, hey, if I make a mistake, I can make up for it. But, yeah, and I think that's for everybody when in those type of deals. So, and I'm sure for, with every other sport, and we want to mention this as well, there's so many people that make this work. We talk about the kids, but, your staff and parents and everybody else that's involved, I know there's a lot that makes cheerleading go, isn't there?
Yeah, we are very blessed to have an outstanding coaching staff. Some of us are not from here, some of us are from here, and everybody's just extremely dedicated. Parents have been wonderful these past 2 years. We're blessed. Also, Mr. Perry, I have to tell you, he's a sincere blessing to this community.
Yeah, and the Black and Gold Initiative.
He's incredible.
You guys are as big a part of it as any other program at Alamogordo High School, with athletics and academics and everything like that. So I know that's a big deal. Well, we certainly wish the best of luck to you guys coming up the rest of this season. Roswell coming up on Saturday. You guys are going to go to Santa Fe for your final competition on the 11th of March before state, and then, of course, state is coming up on the 23rd through the 24th.
Yep.
hopefully everything goes great for you guys. And I was talking with Monica last week. She feels like you guys can compete for a trophy. You feel like this team
I feel
can
that
compete
way.
for,
I do. I have since we
Here.
started this competition season.
Yeah. Desi, same for you. Feel like you guys can compete for one of those trophies?
I hope so.
Okay. That's what we want to hear. All right. Well, best of luck to you all, and thanks
Thank
for
you.
stopping by.
Thank you.